We are in chapter 26, the Holy Ground, reading with the Course Companions. We are on section 7, a review of the laws of healing, and we'll be reading paragraphs 10 through 18. Please join me in prayer. Dear Father, please enable me to set aside everything I think I know for an open mind and a new experience. Please allow me to be who you would have me be, go where you would have me go, do what you would have me say, and say what you would have me say, and to whom. God, please, you be in charge. Amen. All right, and here we go. Picking up on paragraph 10. Salvation, perfect and complete, asks but a little wish that what is true be true, a little willingness to overlook what is not there, a little sigh that speaks for heaven as a preference to this world which death and desolation seem to rule. In joyous answer will creation rise within you to replace the world you see with heaven, holy, perfect, and complete. What is forgiveness but a willingness that truth be true? What can remain unhealed and broken from a unity which holds all things within itself? There is no sin, and every miracle is possible the instant that the Son of God perceives his wishes and the will of God are one. What is the will of God? He wills his Son have everything, and this he guaranteed when he created him as everything. It is impossible that anything be lost if what you have is what you are. This is the miracle by which creation became your function, sharing it with God. It is not understood apart from him, and therefore has no meaning in this world. Here does the Son of God ask not too much, but far too little. He would sacrifice his own identity with everything to find a little treasure of his own. And this he cannot do without a sense of isolation, loss, and loneliness. This is the treasure he has sought to find, and he could only be afraid of it. Is fear a treasure? Can uncertainty be what you want? Or is it a mistake about your will and what you really are? Let us consider what the error is so that it can be corrected, not protected. Sin is belief. Attack can be projected outside the mind where belief arose. Here is the firm conviction that ideas can leave their source, made real and meaningful. And from this error does the world of sin and sacrifice arise. Footnote 26. In other words, we think we can project attack outside of our minds. The attack seems to leave our minds and truly injure people outside of ourselves. And this seems to make us sinful. Because of this same projection of attack, the impulse of attack now seems to be in the world, not in our minds. And so we see an attacking world, a world that demands sacrifice from us. Yet attack has never left our minds, and so its destructive effects are felt only within our minds. Back to the text. This world is an attempt to prove your innocence while cherishing attack. Its failure lies in that you still feel guilty, though without an understanding why. Effects are separated from their source. They seem to be beyond you to control or to prevent. What has been kept apart can never join. Cause and effect are one, not separate. God wills you learn what always has been true, that he created you as part of him. And this must still be true because ideas leave not their source. Such is creation's law, that each idea the mind conceives but adds to its abundance, never takes away. This is as true of what is idly wished as what is truly willed, because the mind can wish to be deceived, but cannot make it be what it is not. Footnote 27. Pronoun clarification. The mind can wish to be deceived, but cannot make it, what it wishes to be deceived about, be what it is not. In this case, the mind wishes to deceive itself into thinking that its ideas can leave it. Back to the text. And to believe ideas can leave their source is to invite illusions to be true without success. Nor ever will success be possible in trying to deceive the Son of God. The miracle is possible when cause and consequence are brought together, not kept separate. The healing of effect without the cause can merely shift effects to other forms, and this is not release. God's Son could never be content with less than full salvation and escape from guilt. For otherwise he still demands that he must make some sacrifice, and thus denies that everything is his, unlimited by loss of any kind. A tiny sacrifice is just the same in its effects, as is the whole idea of sacrifice. If loss in any form is possible, then is God's Son made incomplete and not himself. Nor will he know himself nor recognize his will. He has forsworn his Father and himself and made them both his enemy in hate. Illusions serve the purpose they were made to serve, and from their purpose they derive whatever meaning that they seem to have. God gave to all illusions that were made another purpose that would justify a miracle, whatever form they took. In every miracle all healing lies, for God gave answer to them all as one. Footnote 28. Them all refers to all illusions. And what is one to him must be the same. If you believe what is the same is different, you but deceive yourself. What God made one will forever be one and not separate. His kingdom is united. Thus it was created, and thus will it ever be. The miracle but calls your ancient name, which you will recognize because the truth is in your memory. And to this name your brother calls for his release and yours. Heaven is shining on the Son of God. Deny him not, that you may be released. Each instant is the Son of God reborn until he chooses not to die again. In every wish to hurt he chooses death, instead of what his Father wills for him. Yet every instant offers life to him because his Father wills that he should live. In crucifixion is redemption laid, for healing is not needed where there is no pain or suffering. Forgiveness is the answer to attack of any kind. So attack, deprived of its effects, and hate is answered in the name of love. So is attack deprived of all its effects, and hate is answered in the name of love. To you, to whom it has been given to save the Son of God from crucifixion and from hell and death, all glory be forever. And we'll go down to footnote 29, Romans 11:36. For him, God, and through him, and to him are all things, to whom be glory forever. Amen. In the Bible verse, it is God to whom be glory forever. In the above allusion, it is you who can save God's Son, which is your brother, to whom all glory be forever. Back to the text. For you have power to save the Son of God, because his Father willed that it be so. And in your hand does all salvation lie, to be both offered and received as one. To use the power God has given you as he would have it used is natural. It is not arrogant to be as he created you, or to make use of what he gave to answer all his Son's mistakes and set him free. But it is arrogant to lay aside the power that he gave and to choose a little senseless wish instead of what he wills. The gift of God to you is limitless. There is no circumstance it cannot answer, and no problem which is not resolved within its gracious light. Abide in peace where God would have you be, and be the means whereby your brother finds the peace in which your wishes are fulfilled. Let us unite in bringing blessing to the world of sin and death, for what can save each one of us can save us all. There is no difference among the sons of God. The unity that specialness denies will save them all, for what is one can have no specialness, and everything belongs to each of them. No wishes lie between a brother and his own. To get from one is to deprive them all, and yet to bless but one gives blessing to them all as one. Your ancient name belongs to everyone as theirs to you. Call on your brother's name, and God will answer, for on him you call. Could he refuse to answer when he has already answered all who call on him? A miracle can make no change at all, but it can make what always has been true be recognized by those who know it not. And by this little gift is truth, but let to be itself. The Son of God allowed to be himself, and all creation freed to call upon the name of God as one. Thank you for joining with me. In section 7, the conclusion, a review of the laws of healing. And now we will read Robert Perry's commentary. Thank you. This is Robert Perry's commentary on day 307, section 7, review of the laws of healing, paragraphs 10 through 18. Have you noticed how this section is a genuine review? Almost every single idea in it has been stated before. This section, then, is what many students assume every section in the course is, a repeat of ideas stated elsewhere in the course. Yet this section is only like that because it is explicitly labeled a review. Other sections convey new material. This second half of the section doesn't mention sickness, but it remains focused on our function of being miracle workers. Central to this belief of the section is the teaching that ideas leave not their source. If an idea exists only because the mind is thinking it, how can the idea detach from that mind? If it did, if it managed to float free of its source, then no mind would be thinking it, and by definition, it would cease to exist. This idea has several vital implications. First, it means that as an idea in the mind of God, we have not left that mind. He created us as part of Him, and we have never stopped being that. Indeed, He created us as everything, and since that is what we are, rather than what we merely have, we can never lose it. Second, it means that the foundation for this world is false. That foundation is our belief that attack within our mind can leave our mind to go out and do damage out in the world while leaving us untouched. Believing that we have hurt another but not ourselves, we think we have sinned. Then we use the same principle that ideas can leave their source to deal with the resulting guilt. We project that guilt outside of us so that it seems to leave our mind and exist in others, not in us. Yet none of this is true. Our attack doesn't actually leave our mind. It does its damage inside our mind and inside the collective mind, but never outside of us. And our guilt doesn't leave our mind either. It may appear to be outside, yet we still feel it inside. We just don't know why. As long as we believe that effects can leave their source, we will try to heal the effects out there, separate from their source. Yet the healing of effect without the cause can merely shift effects to other forms. Real healing comes from bringing cause and effect together, realizing, for instance, that attack inevitably causes sickness, and that sickness always stems from attack. This is the role of the miracle worker, to bring cause and effect together. The final paragraphs of this section see tremendous power in this simple idea. By bringing cause and effect together, the miracle worker can heal literally anything. As he faces a brother who attacks or a brother who is sick, he hears only one sound. He hears this brother calling his ancient name, the name God gave him before time began, pleading for release from his sins. And so whatever the miracle worker is faced with, whether attack or sickness or some other symptom, he gives the same response, forgiveness. This then calls down the miracle from God, which holds within itself power to heal all illusions, regardless of their apparent size. The power that lies in the miracle worker is so great that we have these statements from Jesus. To you whom it has been given to save the Son of God from crucifixion and from hell and death, all glory be forever. For you have power to save the Son of God, because his Father willed that it be so. And in your hand does all salvation lie, to be both offered and received as one. Please read the passage above again, not brushing over it, but trying to let it in on a personal level. To you whom it has been given to save the Son of God from crucifixion and from hell and death, all glory be forever. For you have power to save the Son of God, because his Father willed that it be so. And in your hand does all salvation lie, to be both offered and received as one. It may seem arrogant to accept this about yourself, but Jesus specifically reassures you that it is not, since God gave you this power so that you could save his children. But it is arrogant, Jesus says, to lay aside the power that he gave and choose a little senseless wish instead of what he wills. We are being told by Jesus that we have been given a limitless power, a power that can heal all sickness, solve all problems, and bring peace to every brother. We are being told that God gave us this power because he needs us to use it to set free his Son. We need, therefore, to ask ourselves this question: what would it mean to actually claim this power and make our lives about using this power? I'm so sorry about the puppy in the background. I apologize. It's bedtime and she is in her kennel and not enjoying that. Day 307, Section 7. Review of the Laws of Healing, paragraphs 10 through 18. It's like leaving a baby to cry itself to sleep. It's very difficult. I appreciate your being here with me. Thank you. I love you. Have a beautiful day.